Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, most of my videos I do are podcast style, which means you don't really need to be looking at the screen, and this is definitely going to be one of them, because I'm going to be talking about the new updates to both Necromancer and Trickster. Trickster not so much, because not so much happened over there, and the stuff that happened over there are not even worth talking about. But by God, Necromancer. So I was having a conversation with somebody who was talking about the difference between, it was basically when I did my gadget versus mermaid, and they were talking about how much better mermaid is, very specifically because it just does so much more, and gadget needs a buff because it only does the one thing. And I never really understood that. Like, I mean, I got it, but like it was one of those things that never, it's like, they're both epic heroes. They both do, like, what they're supposed to do. Mermaid has protection and damage, but, like, the damage, the bonuses, the damage, the attack speed, and everything are volatile. Like, in the sense that it's not all the time because it's based on having a bubble on there. And if the opponent pops the bubble with, like, sharpshooter or another, like, cute little thing that people have been doing, is Boreas with the sleep arrows. I think that's cute. But if they pop the bubbles, then you don't get the bonus anymore, the attack speed and the crit chance and the damage boost. But because the main reason why you're using mermaid is because of the cleanse. And the other things are just bonuses on top of it, but you don't always get that. With gadget, you always get that. You always get the attack, you always get the damage and the attack speed and the crit chance. And then once you get all the things on the field, you get the anvil, which isn't a lot, but it's something, right? But that's all that gadget does. All that gadget does is it puts stuff on the field, and then you get a flat boost, and that's it, right? And the argument was that, like, gadget needs to do more than that, and I already felt like that was kind of a lot. Like, permanent boosts into, like, all the things that you want, like attack, damage, and attack speed and crit chance, and then the chance to get double tiles, and that always felt like enough to me. I read Necromancer, and my God, gadget needs a buff. So, the two things that you need in this game, the two things that you will have to do all the time is level up your creatures, which Zeus, in his divine power, is known for. The reason why Zeus became so good, because at the beginning of the game, when the game started, Gadget was the best hero. And Zeus was a legendary, and nobody wanted to use it. Gadget level 20 was so much better than Zeus because it didn't have the Zeus tile, which they added in a future update. Because it's a legendary hero, it should feel like a legendary hero. Nobody uses it for the damage, or the overcharge to do the extra attack speed, or the crit chance, whenever you use the thing, right? Everybody uses it specifically for the level up. When you don't have to, if you theoretically don't need to run a Dryad or a Scrapper to level up your cards, and you can literally just put a card like a Dark Inquisitor on a Zeus tile and level it up, that's all you really want in the game. And then the rest of the effects do damage. And then, so like, even if you get screwed over in the beginning of the game, you can just nuke the field and then you'll still be alive. But there are two things that you need to do within this game to win. One is level up your creatures, and two is destroy creatures. Necromancer is the second legendary hero in this game, and the only thing that it was ever really used for was the activated ability in toxic decks. So basically, if you don't understand how Necromancer works, when you activate it, it summons a creature that is unkillable. It's just a ghost creature onto your opponent's field, and then it follows around the path, and it has an aura around it, it has a radius around it, and everything that it touches are locked. So essentially, I like to think about it as if you've ever played Banshee before, you have to put all of your Banshees around the edge. That's what it locks out. It locks out all of those squares around the edge, forcing you to play in the 6 squares on the inside of your playmat, right? Because of this, the Necromancer deck usually ran Witch, because you would give your opponent a curse tile, and if you got super lucky, those curse tiles would be in those 6. So you could lock them out on their edges every time you use Necromancer, and then on the inside you could lock them out there, because then it used weakness tiles, and you could add 4 weakness tiles to your opponent's mat, right? And you'd be locking out so many of their tiles to where it would just do nothing. And that was the main thing that it was used for. Cursed Earth, it added tiles because they're obsessed with tiles. And you get 2 tiles on your field, and you get an insta-kill chance on your 2 tiles. Some cute thing that people were doing when Necromancer started was Lightning Mage. Because Lightning Mage always hits 3 things, no matter what level it is. So Thunderer, you have to level up, but Lightning Mage always hits 3 things. So they were using that, but then they changed how insta-kill works. When things hit multiple targets, it doesn't work the same. It works in a lesser fashion, and so that strategy became like something that nobody did. Fear of Death was insta-kill effects from the Cursed Earth. They gave you mana and they summoned ghosts. And so that was fine, but nobody really used it for that. And then Necrotic Invigoration is kind of like a witch kind of effect. Insta-kill effects from the Cursed Earth, from the aforementioned Cursed Earth. They have a 50% chance to heal monsters on your opponent's side in PvP and deal damage depending on the target's current health in co-op. So basically, you'd be healing your opponent's monsters, but you could never really heal quicker than they would deal damage. So that never really came into play either. So basically, what I'm trying to say is the only thing that people ever really used it for was the activated ability. Everything else was kind of a bonus, but it wasn't anything that anybody really paid attention to. Like I said, this is a legendary card, and as such, it should probably do a lot more than nothing. A lot more than just being good in a toxic deck. And my God, Necromancer's talents, when I was reading this yesterday morning, because they dropped this yesterday, it just kept going. It was just like, but wait, there's more, but wait, there's more. And I was like, this just keeps going. This just does everything that you want a hero to do. This is everything you want. Other than a Zeus tile to level up your cards, this is everything else you would want from a hero. This now feels like a legendary hero. I originally felt like Necromancer and Zeus are so far beyond like my scope of something that I can obtain, because they very much so are like, you have to invest a lot of money into it, like real money. It's not just time, it's literal money. You have to invest like literal money, like, and a lot of it, like into the thousands of dollars investment into this to become good, right? But for the first time, I'm actually considering Necromancer over Zeus because of all of these things that it does. Because it is of equivalent nature as a Zeus. Like before, you only wanted to run Necromancer in a toxic deck. Now you want to run Necromancer in every deck. So we're going to go into this. The level 1 ability. So originally, like I said, it only summoned a Lich onto your opponent's side, locking them out. It still does that. But wait, there's more. Curse Path gives the player's unit attacks an instant kill chance. As in, it summons a Lich on their side and summons a Lich on your side. And then you get your units that it touches within the radius, I'm assuming, get an insta-kill chance as well. In PvP, the Lich has an aura that ignores protection from negative effects, imposes a stupor on enemy units, and temporarily blocks the use of their ability. The chained unit does not attack and cannot merge for the first few seconds. In co-op and single-player mode, the Lich is summoned in front of the first monster and blocks the path. So even in co-op and single-player, where it doesn't feel like you would use a thing that blocks your opponent, because there is no opponent, it acts as a trainer, and then also gives you the insta-kill chance. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, so not only are you able to give yourself an insta-kill chance with your units, you're also able to lock their hero. You're also able to lock out their outside squares. And it does all of that just upon activation. The Cursed Earth tile has been merged with the Fear of Death ability. So you're creating two tiles that give you an insta-kill chance, which is what it originally did. But wait, there's more. Insta-kill effects from the Necromancer abilities have a chance to grant additional mana and summon ghosts to the enemy side. So not only are you getting an insta-kill chance, but you're also gaining the level 10 ability, which was you get mana and you summon ghosts. And if you're wondering, why would they do that? It already did that before. Yes, it did, but now they have the ability to give you another ability. Level 10. A new Phantom ability has been added. When attacking bosses and mini-bosses, a unit in a buff tile has a chance to summon a Phantom that attacks a monster. Phantoms deal damage based on the number of instant kills triggered by the Necromancer's ability and destroys the target's armor. In addition, the Curse Path now gives all units attack against bosses and mini-bosses a chance to summon a Phantom. Do you have any idea how insane this is? So every time a unit in a curse tile insta-kills a monster, you gain stacks. And those stacks create a Phantom that deal damage based on the number of instant kills triggered by the Necromancer's abilities and destroys the target's armor. It's like a souped up J tile. And then in addition, the Curse Path now gives all unit attacks against bosses and mini-bosses another chance to summon a Phantom. So upon activated ability. But wait, there's more. At level 15, you get another new ability. Ghosts summoned by the Curse Earth ability restore the health of nearby monsters when they die. In addition, using the Deadly Silence ability has a certain chance to summon an evil spirit out of one buff tile, lowering the merge rank of a random enemy in PvP. Using the Deadly Silence ability, as in the activated ability, just activating Necromancer at all, has a certain chance to summon an evil spirit out of a buff tile, lowering the merge rank of an enemy in PvP, and in co-op, it'll increase the rank of a player unit. You get a free shaman just by activating the Necromancer ability. Dude, this thing is insane. This thing is absolutely insane. It just does so much stuff now. So not only when you activate the ability will it give you insta-kill chance, but it'll also lock out their edges. It'll lock out their hero. Your curse tile will insta-kill things. as it's insta-killing things, you're gaining stacks. Those stacks are going to help you defeat bosses. Those stacks are also going to help make you heal your opponent's units so that they have to deal more damage. And just upon activation, you have a chance to shaman them for free. So not only is it good in every deck, but now it's even better in toxic decks. This thing is absolutely insane. It does so much stuff. And it makes me really rethink my position on does Gadget do enough? Like, it's... And if you want to understand, like, and then the heroic item has been changed. Increase the insta-kill chance of Grave Silence and the chance of Necrotic Incantation summoning an evil spirit. Increase the number of buff tiles from the cursed ability to 3. Enhances the Phantom's ability by increasing the Phantom's attack armor reduction value. Like, heroic items never really matter, but like, for all those people that have, like, the level 20 Necromancer and, like, the, you know, the heroic tile, or the heroic item, they're gonna have 3 tiles. 3 tiles that all have insta-kill chance. As in, you don't need to run Hex, right? There was a deck that they used to run Hunter Necromancer, because Hunter does spread damage, and that was like a cute deck that existed for a while. The way that you do insta-kill now is through single target. Most people just do single target insta-kill damage, because how they fix spread damage, it's much worse. And so if you pair this with, like, I don't know, like a Blade Dancer, you could totally put this in a Blade Dancer deck, and it would be amazing. You could totally put this in, I would assume, Inquisitor, because it attacks so fast, even though the spread damage would not be the percentage that it normally is. I think it would still probably work. Like, you could put this in so many decks, and it just makes your deck better. And I feel like, for once, they needed to make a legendary better, or as good as Zeus. And this is as good, I don't want to say if not better than Zeus, but it's pretty good. It's very good. I mean, I think it will work universally in as many decks as Zeus works universally in that many decks. And that's what a legendary hero needed to be. Because, as it stood before, Zeus was the only thing to get, and Necromancer was the thing to get if you were trying to run Toxic. This now universally works with most decks. Maybe all decks. Probably all decks. Getting a free Shaman for any percentage that they're going to say, 10%, 15%, 5%, just being able to get a free Shaman is amazing. It's almost to the point where you would now want to run this in your co-op deck. If you're still running a co-op deck that needs to support an opponent, and you need to run the Shaman, you know, like Shaman, Witch, Clock, Harlequin, Mime, right? You run this as well, and those Shaman hits are also giving your opponent stuff. Like, it's so good. And Trickster is so bad, and it continues to be bad. The mutual benefit ability has been improved. Increase the chance to return the mana spent on summoning a unit from 3.5 to 4. It's not great. And then the secret technique ability has been changed. When activated, so the original ability was that when you activate it, for every 100 points of mana that you have over a cap, it gives you damage. Now it's increased the damage of units for every few point of mana spent. So when you activate it and you spend mana, that's how much damage it's giving you, which doesn't seem great. I mean, I guess it seems better because then it makes you want to use mana that you're gaining. But I think I liked it more when when you had a mana above and beyond what you needed, because you could theoretically put that into like a Blooming Dash Blade Dancer deck, and then, you know, because like it gains so much excessive mana in that deck. Like if you didn't have Gadget or something, you could technically run it like that. But now it's like when you activate it and you spend a mana really quickly, it's going to give you damage. And I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I like it. None of this is going to make it become even kind of meta. I would still run Jay. I would still run Trainer. Trickster is one of the worst. It's not the worst. I think the worst hero is Jake Paul, specifically because it's impossible to get. Like outside of a 1200, gem chest, it's not worth it to get. I would rather use that for anything else, Gadget, Mermaid. But I think that there's just no place for Trickster, and I really thought that because they were going to do this update, and they were changing Trickster, I thought they would change it for the better. And this feels like it was already good. We're just gonna tweak this number. And it's not going to do anything for it. Necromancer is a big whaley unit. If you want to spend thousands of dollars in this game, I don't necessarily know if I would go Necromancer or Zeus specifically, but this makes Necromancer very, very appealing. Like it sounds really good. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments.